going to give you a little demo of the Oracle database appliance. Show you how to actually set this thing up. So I've shown you a few other things in the past of how to physically set it up, how to plug it in, how to clean it up. Now I'm going to show you how to actually set the thing up with an IP address and generate a database. So you have an Oracle database. So one of the great things about this Oracle database appliance have a Unix administrator and a database Oracle database administrator, some network guys around, and you want to just get a database set up quickly. You can grab one of these small ODA boxes and you can do it yourself if you use just a little bit of technical skills. So I'm not a DBA by any stretch, but I have a little bit of familiarity with logging in and what the Oracle database does. So as an analyst, I can use a wizard, the Oracle application manager, essentially, database appliance homepage, and I can set up this appliance and set up a database pretty quickly. I'm going to show you how to do it. The process only takes about just 2 or 3 minutes to get started, and then you go away, grab something to eat, and you come back about a half an hour later, and you have a fully functional Oracle database appliance in whatever configuration you chose. So I'm going to show you how to choose some of the options, and we'll see. So here I am. I'm at the Oracle Database Appliance Manager homepage. It's all through the web, so I'm in full screen mode. I hope it shows up well. Go to the admin. All right. So you hit the landing page. What this is telling us is that nothing's been done with this appliance yet. So what do you want to do? Create an appliance to get it started. It's step one. Let's do it. So I click on the Create Appliance button. And I'm going to call this one. It's indevconsultant.com. Give it a region. Let's say okay. That's where I'm at. Let's give it a time zone. Let's see, New York, America, New York. So now it's going to ask me, what version of this edition. I'm going to stick with Enterprise Edition. What's the backup location? I'm going to say it's internal because I don't really need to back this thing up right now. So it's going to back up to the spare hard drives. Data storage percent, that's automatically to 40. Master password. This is going to actually change your root password on the server, on the Linux server. And I'll just use Google as my DNS server. Just put one of them in. I'm not doing anything with an NTP. So here's your IP address. 268.1.1.99. So I'm actually here in Ohio. I mean in Pennsylvania. And my server's now back in my office in Maine, running on my local network. So I can connect to it because I'm doing some IP forwarding. I have to use the actual physical, IP address that my router assigned it. So that's what I'm doing. There's my gateway. Which interface? I showed you before. This thing has two ports. Do B on one. Screw. I don't want to do an additional network. I'm not going to mess around with the ILOM. create additional database. Yes, initial database. So I'm going to create a database. I'm going to call it end of. Call that end of one. Now there's quite a few different versions of the database. Latest one, and you would choose whichever one you need. That your whatever application you're going to run on top of this may require a certain database version. So you would choose what you need. I'm just going to choose the latest one. And I'm going to leave everything else alone at the defaults. And then, okay, what's the shape of my database, of my appliance? And here are my choices. This machine has 10 core, can I do up to 80 gigabytes of memory? I'm gonna go that big. I'm gonna just do. I'm gonna enable 4 cores. Now, remember with these Oracle appliances, they are licensed kind of under the cloud model. So you can turn on 4 cores today. And next month, maybe you need to increase that. You turn it on to 8, bump it up to 10. You're only going to pay for the cores that you're enabling on this appliance. If you're installing something from scratch and you want to install an Oracle database, on a Dell server or any other type of server, you're going to pay for whatever cores that are on that server, whether you're using them or not. These database appliances are pretty cool because you can turn them up, turn them down, enable the cores, disable the cores, and your license will pay for whatever you have enabled. So that's kind of cool. And all right, my PDB name. Let's do PDB1. I'm not gonna do anything fancy here. Enable the ASR. That'll be a different session. I'll talk about the ASR, how this can be managed, straight from the Oracle support. So that's it. That's my database, and if I filled everything in, I hit submit. Are you sure you want to submit the provisioning job? Sure. Why not? Let's do it. Just said yes, and it said submitted successfully. And I can check back, on this link and see the status. And I can follow through, exactly what it's doing. Let me try to get my toolbar back here. Let me zoom out a little bit. So this is, kicking along. And it's going to run for, I would say it's going to run for about a half an hour. So in a half an hour, you can have a fully functioning Oracle database server up. And not a lot of technical work involved. No installing any network software, no installing the Oracle software. It's all there. So a sysadmin can get these things stood up. The other thing, when you're deploying these, if you're going to deploy a remote server someplace in a warehouse or some shop someplace, you would actually have to send people out there who know what they're doing, to set these, a machine up and install the software, get everything up and running. These things, it shows up in a box. I showed you my other video. I set it up, maybe 15 minutes. The hardest part was, carrying it upstairs, so they don't have an elevator. You start that thing up, and turn right around and go to the appliance manager, and boom, you have an appliance, database appliance. So when we come back, I'm gonna go get some dinner. When I come back, hopefully tonight I'll be able to, have the time to show you the actual appliance. If not, I'll do it tomorrow night. I'll show you how we now have a database, and I can log in with a development tool, my database, and start developing, or I can install an application software, whatever I'm going to do. So I'll show you that later. And for now, enjoy your dinner, and I will catch you later.